My name is Claire, I'm 32, and if I could rewind time, if I could grab just one moment and hold it tightly before it slipped through my fingers, I'd choose the evening everything began to fall apart. Back then I didn't see the cracks. Or maybe I did, but I was too wrapped up in the comfort of routine to care. I told myself everything was fine. That we were fine. That love didn't have to be thrilling to be real. I was married to Nathan for 4 years. On the surface, we lived what most people would call a peaceful, stable life. We had a modest home with uneven floorboards and a chipped kitchen counter we always meant to fix. Our coffee mugs didn't match, our schedules were predictable, and there was a quiet kind of love between us, or so I believed. But underneath that calm exterior, something was always simmering. A kind of silent tension I didn't understand until it was too late to fix. The beginning of the end wasn't some explosive event. No scandal. No screaming fight. In fact, it started with a name, Elijah. Elijah and I had been close since college. We were each other's emotional safety nets through every heartache and heartbreak, study session and celebration. There had even been a brief romantic spark once. A single kiss under a string of dorm party lights, a week of confusion that ended with a mutual decision to just stay friends. That spark died quickly, replaced by years of pure platonic loyalty. To me, Elijah was familiar and grounding. A part of my past who never left. Harmless. But to Nathan, he was something else entirely. A threat dressed in nostalgia. Nathan never said anything, not at first. He was polite when Elijah came up in conversation, even laughed at his jokes the couple of times they met. But gradually, I noticed the subtle changes. A tightness around his eyes when Elijah texted. The way he'd fall silent when I shared stories from our college days. I dismissed it as jealousy. Told myself he was being unreasonable, insecure. After all, I married Nathan, not Elijah. Thought the issue would pass. I was wrong. The turning point came when Elijah invited me to a beach reunion with some old college friends. A long weekend in Charleston. Nothing secret, nothing inappropriate. Just sun, music, and familiar faces. When I told Nathan, I expected a shrug. Maybe a hesitant have fun. Instead, his face went still. His voice, when he finally spoke, was low and cold. "You're not going." At first I laughed, assuming he was joking. But he wasn't. He explained, firmly, quietly, that he didn't trust Elijah. That the blurred lines between us made him uncomfortable. That he had tolerated the friendship for years, but this trip crossed a boundary. I was livid. Furious. Who was he to tell me what I could or couldn't do? His reaction felt possessive and controlling. I defended the trip, insisted it was innocent, said I needed a break, that I deserved this. Then came the line I never should have crossed. "If you go," he said, "don't expect to come back to the same marriage." I should have stopped and really listened then. I should have asked myself whether this trip was worth the risk. But I didn't. I was stubborn. I saw it as a power play, and I refused to lose. That night I packed my bag, kissed Nathan goodbye with defiance in my voice, and drove off to Charleston. The trip was everything I thought it would be. At first. Laughter under beach umbrellas, drinks clinking together. Inside jokes revived as if no time had passed. Elijah and I slipped easily into our old rhythm, talking late into the night like we used to. Then came that moment. A quiet balcony, a sky full of stars, and too many cocktails between us. We talked about the past, about the what-ifs. His hand brushed mine. I didn't pull away. He leaned in. Not quite a kiss, but enough to blur the line I swore I'd never cross. Froze. I didn't kiss him, but I didn't stop it soon enough either. And that's where everything changed. The next morning, still caught in the haze, we posed for a picture on the beach. Me in a bikini, Elijah's arm around my waist, our smiles wide and thoughtless. I posted it without thinking. Captioned it, "Living my best life." I didn't consider Nathan. Didn't pause to imagine how that image would land. Didn't think at all. When I got home, the silence was suffocating. Nathan's car was in the driveway, but the house felt empty. The closet half cleared, his toiletries gone. His keys missing. Called him. Panicking. When he answered, his voice was calm. "Hello. I saw the photo," he said. "I told you what this meant." I tried to explain. I said it wasn't what it looked like, that nothing happened. But he cut me off. "You chose him. You chose a weekend of fun over our marriage. You humiliated me." Then the line went dead. I stared at the phone, the weight of it all hitting me like a wave I didn't see coming. In that moment, everything I had taken for granted crumbled. The fallout was brutal. Friends, family, co-workers. Some messaged with concern, others with judgment. "How could you do that to Nathan?" That picture was a slap in the face. I deleted it, but it was too late. The damage was done. And Elijah, whatever flicker existed that weekend, vanished under the harsh light of reality. There was no grand romance, no secret love. Just confusion, blurred boundaries, and regret. Weeks later, Nathan came back. Not to reconcile, but for closure. He looked tired. Older somehow. "I trusted you," he said, voice shaking. "I wasn't asking you to cut Elijah off. I was asking you to respect me, to understand how this made me feel. And you chose defiance." I apologized, cried, begged. But he wasn't listening anymore. He left. And this time he didn't come back. In the months that followed, I sat with my choices. With the silence. With the knowledge that I destroyed something sacred. Not with one decision, but with 1,000 small ones. Every time I dismissed his discomfort. Every time I chose pride over partnership. Every time I believed my independence meant ignoring his boundaries. Nathan filed for separation. I didn't fight it. How could I? I heard through friends he started therapy. That he was slowly rebuilding. I'm glad. He deserved better than what I gave him. As for Elijah, we don't speak anymore. Not out of anger. Just the quiet fading of something that never should have lingered so long. There was no affair. No cheating in the physical sense. But what I did broke trust, crossed lines. And in the end it cost me everything. Looking back now, I understand what I couldn't see then. Love isn't about who wins the argument. It isn't about proving your independence at the cost of someone's heart. It's about respect. It's about listening, really listening when your partner says, "This hurts me." And when you fail to do that, you don't just lose an argument. You lose the person who loved you most.